Okay, so let's say I decide to go to the movies for a third time. Fun. And it's still these three movies that I want to see. I want to represent it in an array and a tree diagram. And my problem is that how do I represent a third trial? Because I've got my first trial here, second trial, does the third trial come out of the board? Where does it go? And what we actually have to do is represent all of the different outcomes on one side. Okay, you can see this already looks quite tedious. Alright, now our table was with replacement, so I've got to then write each of these outcomes out now. So the first one would be RBI. I see this movie 3 times. I really love it. Next one. I'm not going to finish this, right? It's going to take forever, it's a bit ridiculous. We don't use arrays to represent anything more than a 2-step experiment. It's just not the quickest way. Much quicker to use a tree diagram. So if I continue this as without replacement, and I might do it again with replacement in a moment. But if it's without replacement, I can't see the same movie twice. So if I've seen Ralph Breaks the Internet and Mary Poppins Returns, I can only see Aquaman. Here I can only see Mary Poppins Returns. That looks really simple. The with replacement one isn't as simple, but because it's without replacement, it's a simpler scenario. So then I'm just representing each of these outcomes at the end. And so on, I would do them all. Okay, so if we look at that as a tree diagram with replacement, so my initial node, I'm going to have the 3 films. Now I can still see all 3 films here. And I can still see 3 films the third time. I'm not going to fill them all in because it will take some time. But you can see this is much simpler and easier to follow than the 2 arrays next to each other that got quite confusing. And then you just read across to figure out the outcome.